Dun, 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 ba-da-bum, bum, 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 bum. Hey guys, hey guys. I'm gonna do my little share. As you're jumping on, say hello. If you're watching the replay, give me a little replay love in the comments below and let me know you're here. Let me do my quick share. And if you're watching the replay, you can fast forward this part. Hey Adrian, how are you? It's good to see you. Give me a minute. Oh, la 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 la. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, something without warning, love, it weighs heavy on my mind. And I know it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a lovely day. Na, 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 na. Ba ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. Okay, guys, I gotta tell you, I'm a little amped up today because the health coach had sugar this morning. I had a little chai tea treat and it had sugar in it, like in the the packet thing. So, this is a man on sugar. It wasn't even that much, but I never have it. You don't want to see me on alcohol. Real stories, true confessions. And I'm also excited because as you guys are joining, say hello, say hi in the comments. I'm also excited because Becky just wrote something really sweet on the Heisman Health page that I'm going to share with you. Hey Darcy, how's it going? Good to see you. And we're going to talk about ritual. But first, if you don't know me yet, if this is your first time seeing me, I'm Amanda Heisman, intuitive nutrition and energy coach, and I help you eat more intuitively and eat for energy so you can use that energy and intuition to build a life that you love. And we go deep on the spiritual and emotional sides of nourishment. I can also, as a nutrition intuitive, channel the needs of your nourishment body. And today, we're going to talk about morning routine and creating ritual that works for you here in a second. But as you guys are jumping on, oh man, yeah, say hello. I see you, Darcy. I see you, Adrian. Cool. So comments should be working over here. Oops, sometimes I swipe the wrong way. That's okay, you're back. Okay. But first, you guys, I have to share with you, I'm excited. There's a lot going on in HHHQ, that's Heisman Health Headquarters, stuff that will be trickling out over the next month or so, different interviews, podcasts, projects that I'm collaborating with others, coaches and personal development, spiritual mentors type of light workers that is going to be coming out. So I've been creating all sorts of stuff, but I want to share with you something that Becky wrote after doing the intuitive eating experience and the 10-day holistic detox with me that just warmed my heart. So Becky said, I am so grateful for Amanda and the intuitive eating experience. When I first joined her group, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I knew I was supposed to be there. And I was right. It was aligned with the feelings I was experiencing and exactly what I needed. I would say it was life-changing. The daily mantras, suggestions, and guidance from Amanda was like a virtual hug. I always felt appreciated, respected, and not alone on my journey about food. For me, it was so much deeper. It was and is the mind, soul, and body connection and how I nourish all of them. Through the invitation of journaling, I discovered how old habits, childhood trauma, and adult health issues affected my relationships with food and feelings. It gave me the power and strength to release and process the judgment around myself and those experiences to find the lessons and move forward. For the first time, I felt like I was in charge of making my own choices for my body, not some old way of thinking or a trendy diet or what someone else or society thinks I should do, just me, my body, my choice. Amanda, I thank you and adore you in your giving spirit, knowledge of all things nourishing, compassion of others, sense of humor and singing skills, your realness and sharing of self-experiences, your guided messages, and most of all, your big heart. So I just felt my heart was warm. I wanted to share that with you guys. I felt very seen for the body of my work, and I wanted to celebrate with you guys, just like I encourage you to celebrate all of your baby steps. I'm sharing mine. And let's talk today. Are you guys still here? Yep, I see the hearts. Hey, hey, hey. Let's talk about lovely day. We're going to talk about morning ritual. So, do you guys have a morning routine? Do you have a morning ritual? Why not? Have you in the past and you don't anymore? I want to talk about this a little bit today because it's one of the things I've seen making a huge difference in the health of the folks I work with. Sometimes we don't realize how much our morning, what happens first thing, first 30 minutes, 60 minutes, even the first 10 minutes after we wake up, how much that affects our entire day, right? So we've all had those days where we kind of roll out of bed 10, 15, 20 minutes before we need to be somewhere, and then it's just like rush, 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 like you are zooming, you are Tasmanian deviling through the house to get to your obligation. And then that tone continues right? You really amp up on adrenaline when that happens. And that tone, that like rush, 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 continues throughout the day. And if you have a morning ritual where you have some mindfulness and maybe meditation or something to kind of calm and ground you first thing in the morning, that's going to set the tone for the rest of the day. It's going to set the tone for you to allow your own inner wisdom to come through. Just as you do in a mindfulness practice, you can have that sort of inner wisdom and inner creativity coming out in everything you do, right? In your work projects, in your relationships, in your workout, whatever you're doing throughout the day. So there have actually been research studies on this, and having some sort of routine in the morning really affecting health and happiness and success, as we define it as a society. So I encourage you to first of all think about, what does my morning routine look like right now? Darcy says yes, but it likely needs a rework. Yeah, it evolves, right, as we evolve. So adrenal burn, yeah, too much of that sort of rush, rush, rush definitely has its effect on the adrenals. So I encourage you to kind of sit here and consider for a moment, what does your morning routine look like right now? Even if you think you don't have one, what do you do every morning? Is rolling out of bed, showering, brushing your teeth, and having a coffee and scrolling through the news or social media, is that your morning routine? What do you do? It's like running after the kids. What takes up that space in the first hour that you're awake? That's kind of a sacred time, and because that time, especially right there in twilight, whether it's also twilight outside or not, but that twilight between you being asleep and awake is a magical time, right? Dream time, sleep time is a really restorative time. It's a time that not only our body goes toward healing, but our spirit does too. So when you're waking up, it's kind of this magical moment. Darcy says, too much email and work before peace. Yes, I've been guilty of the same. So one thing that I've done in the past is switch my, for sleep purposes, but this also helps for my morning, is I switch my phone from to airplane mode. And when I wake up in the morning, that I'm not tempted to just roll over and grab it like right there in bed. I think we're all guilty of this, like starting to look at email and other stuff. Well, I'm like first thing when I woke up, I'm still in bed, I'm still in my PJs. But when I switch it to airplane mode, that's almost like a conscious reminder. I have to go switch the settings to even do any of that. And that putting one command in between me and my email helps me remember, oh, like this is a sacred time for me to do my morning routine. So, what can morning routines look like? So first of all, we're thinking about what it looks like right now. Second of all, I invite you to maybe write it out and put it on paper, your ideal morning routine. And then you can test it for a few days at a time, see what works for you and see what doesn't, right? So what does work for you in the morning? And sometimes this is, it might require you to get up a little earlier than usual, which is actually a commitment, like a dedication to going to bed a little earlier, right? So that you are well rested when you wake up. But write it out. Actually write it down. What do you do first thing in the morning, the first 5 things, and see what patterns emerge and see what would be ideal for you. So just write out what would be ideal for you, and then you can piece together something that works for you, trial and error over the next 2 weeks, to see what does. So I will give you some ideas of how I have pieced together my own morning routine over the years, some things that might work for you. So oftentimes, when I first wake up, I will usually take a few deep breaths, and I'll lay there with my eyes still closed. And when I'm kind of coming out of that dream state, coming out of that REM, coming out of that sleep state, and consider for a few minutes, I'll consider my dreams that I had and make sure that I invite my higher self and my inner wisdom to remember them, first of all, and to just, I ask that any meaning in them is that I remember it, that I keep it innate in myself. And then I get up, I'll probably go to the kitchen, put on the warm water, put the kettle on, and make my warm lemon water, and then I sip that while I go have a 10 or 20 minute meditation. And meditation can look different for different people. I'm not going to get into what is meditation right now. We can talk about that in a different video, and I'm sure I have if you search my videos. But then I do a journaling, sometimes journal first, sometimes meditation first, sometimes vice versa. Then I do a journaling of my dreams, and consider any meaning under them. And if I need to do any other journaling, anything I'm working through emotionally right now, any intentions that I'm setting, any goals that I want to talk about, that I need to get ideas out. And sometimes it's just a brain dump. Sometimes it starts with a to-do list and it ends up with an emotional rant about something going on in my life right now. But it's something I needed to get out of my body, needed to get out of my hand and into the journal, so that I wasn't carrying it throughout my day, right? So far we've got a gentle wake up, lemon water, meditation, and journaling. Prayer maybe for some people. You might, before you even get out of bed, you might have a practice of making love with your partner or yourself. And then usually I will move my body in some way, right? Like have a proper workout if it's a day for that, right? Like go on a run or a bike or a swim or something like that. I usually do some sort of that sort of thing, run, bike, and swim, paired with a yoga, qigong, stretching, more gentle thing. And I always say something is better than nothing, but some people don't like this in the morning, they like it in the evening. Whatever works for you. This is why you can experiment with what works for you. And then I come back and do my kind of bathroom stuff, right? Go to the bathroom, brush. Actually, I oil pull before I brush my teeth. I oil pull while I'm in the shower. And if you haven't seen my video on oil pulling, feel free to watch that. But do all my hygiene stuff. And then And tongue scraping is another one right after oil pulling. That's a good thing. You know how I just talked about how I had sugar this morning, and you're seeing the health coach on sugar? I had it sort of accidentally in my chai tea. That's a good thing to do right away when you have, this is a rabbit trail, that's a good thing to do right away when you have sugar or something that you think you're going to crave, is to brush your teeth, maybe tongue scrape, maybe oil pull, but definitely to brush your teeth right away, because you're going to always crave the last thing that you had if you don't kind of brush that taste away. The taste is kind of like on your lips and your mouth sort of thing. And then I make a green drink or whatever your breakfast is, right? I'll make a green smoothie or juice or whatever my breakfast is. This is kind of how my body operates. I'm not someone who wakes up hungry right away, right? Some people may wake up famished in the morning. I'm not like that. I like to have something light and do my workout right away in the morning. Some people need to eat right away, different blood sugar types, all that sort of thing. Or, you know, and some people like to read the news, read books, read articles. Some people like to have their reading, they don't get a chance to later in the day. They like to have, read their book or chapter in their book or different articles right away. And kids and family, you can do different parts of this together, right? But even if you're busy, we're all busy, right? I invite you to explore your morning routine, your morning rituals, and what it looks like for you. How do you honor yourself? How do you honor the divine in you, right? Whatever sort of faith tradition you have. How are you connecting to all sides of yourself, right? The spiritual, the physical, the mental, emotional, right away in the morning, and setting the tone throughout. There's been research on this, you guys, setting the tone for better health, happiness, productivity, success, right away, first thing in the morning. So tell me about your morning routines in the comments below. I see you guys still here. Tell me what they look like right now and what you might want to add to them. What's one thing you never thought about? And like I said, you can, go a few days and practice this over time, right? And see what works for you and then adjust it. But I do invite you to have maybe 2 or 3 of those things I mentioned as staples, right, in your morning routine. And you'll start to see a difference of the tone of your whole day and over time, your whole life, right? Tell me what your morning routine looks like right now. I'm really curious. Darcy says, I need to add the thinking about the dreams. Yeah, it's really interesting. And I've done a little bit of young psychology, so I like kind of looking at the different themes that are emerging in my dreams and how they've maybe answered questions for myself in the dream, like answered questions that I have. Like oftentimes at night, I'll journal a few things like, here are things I'm manifesting, creating in my life, or that I have questions about. The light is like whiting me out. Sorry, guys. And higher self, God, whoever you talk to, right? I would like you to take care of these things while I sleep, I surrender it. And I'd like you to take care of it while I sleep and give me the answer in my dreams. So I like considering it. You can always Google meanings of dreams. I need to add the thinking about the dreams. Oh, I read that. Drink tea, color, read, work. Ooh, I love the coloring. I love that you're kind of getting into your intuitive creative side right away with coloring, your other side brain. Right away. So, and that's kind of something that can be mindful and meditative because it's very repetitive as well, Darcy. So that's awesome. That sounds like a great morning routine to me. Hey, Rebecca. I'm experimenting with eating later. It's funny with 2 little boys who need to eat right away, but I'm trying to do hot lemon water at least an hour before I eat. Oh, I love that. Just tuned in, so I'm catching up. I'm trying to read, have quiet time in the morning. Yeah, I know it can be super challenging with, I'm not a parent, but I have played third parent to my nieces and nephews quite, for months at a time, actually. And I know it can be super challenging, especially with real little ones, to have kind of that sacred time in the morning. But it sounds like you're doing a great job with it, um, with, um, with the lemon water and trying to read and have quiet time in the morning. And what I said earlier, you can feel free to bounce back and watch the beginning. I've got crazy, I've got crazy cow, I've got crazy cow, this is TMI. I've got crazy toe socks on, and they're like, my pinky is so small. Pinky toe's so small, it's falling out of the toe socks, you guys. Anyway, it was distracting me. You can watch from the beginning, but also what I said was, what did I say? Oh, writing it down. I said, I talked about like writing out the components that you think would be most beneficial for you. And then something about seeing it on paper helps make it a little real and get it in your psyche a little bit. What I actually did for a long time when I was, before I started traveling in my old apartment, I had those 4x6 index cards, and I just said, pick 3. And I had all those things that I just spieled out to you guys, and I had myself pick 3 each morning, and then that helped me. I don't know how early it would be to get up before them, but if I go to bed earlier, I'm always game to I can get up whenever, as long as I go to bed early enough. Diffuse, Darcy says. Yeah, that's a good one. I've been not diffusing as much, but I've been putting the oils on myself. It helps me, like smelling it that close up helps me ground. Irma, Rio Grande Valley, Texas. Awesome. I have family in New Braunfels, which is the hill country between San Antonio and Austin. I am aware I just awoke. Stay completely still and try to, access what dreams happened. Awesome. Yeah, me too. I get up and get food ready for the day. I put water or tea from leaves in the backyard. Avocado, citrus. Oh, I can't see the rest of your comment, but that sounds like an awesome morning routine, Irma. I love it. I honor that. Do personal development about an hour in. Love toe socks. My pinky toes are tiny too. Toe socks don't work for me at all. Yeah, the first 4 are good. I've been trying these, in yoga studios, they sell those toe separators, and in yoga class sometimes they have you like separate your toes like this. But I've been feeling the urge to like do that, and so I've broke out my toe socks. I think from when I used to take bar class. Actually, I have a pair from when I used to take bar class, and then I have just a silly pair that are cows, and my pinky toes are tiny. Love Austin. Yeah, Austin's cool. Doc ordered me, although I would love to explore it more. I'm always there with small children. Doc ordered me to diffuse throughout the day. Oh, good. I love your Dr. Darcy. So, just have a little more awareness around your morning routine throughout the next week or so, you guys. And I'd love to check back in on this and see how you're doing. Let me know what questions you guys have for me. And, oh, you lived in Austin for 2 years. That's awesome. That's cool. I have a lot of good friends down there. Yeah, and let me know how this goes for you. Also, spots are filling up, but I'm currently taking clients for the 12-week Transform Your Energy program. This is a private coaching program, and it's the deepest way to work with me right now. It is the deepest and most transformative program I have come up with yet. So it's a 12-week program in which we meet weekly. And I do still have 3 spots available for that. And if you guys haven't yet scheduled your first free Connect call, in which I actually do an intuitive mini reading for you, and you know, we kind of talk through what's going on for you, I will drop that link in the comments below, because you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on that. And if that sounds like something that would be beneficial for you, let me know. And people like Becky and Cherie and Jessica, who are leaving these testimonials, have found a lot of transformation working with me. So I invite you guys to just even schedule a call if any of this sounds interesting at all, and we can talk through if it would be good for you, if we would be a good team. You're welcome, Darcy. You're welcome. Bye, guys. Tell me about your morning routine, and I will catch up with you again very soon. More stuff coming at you. All right. Love ya. Bye.